Okay, guys, last extra credit problem. About 16% of you got this correct, and it's hard. It's a applied law of cosines problem, but I think we can get it if we walk through it real quick. So all we do is that we have this triangle here, boop, boop, boop. It says a pilot is flying from Houston to Oklahoma City. Houston to Oklahoma City. To avoid a thunderstorm, the pilot flies 28 degrees off the direct route. So he goes, this angle is 28 degrees. For a distance of 175 miles. He then makes a turn and flies straight to Oklahoma City. To the nearest mile, how much further than the direct route was the route taken by the pilot? Super critical to know this sort of thing because if you only have so much fuel, you need to know how far off you can turn off your course in order to make your destination. So in this case, we just need to find what this length is. And then we can add that to this length and see how much longer it is than this length here. So if we're going to use law of cosines, we have this angle, we have this side, and we have this side. We're just missing this side here. So recall that the law of cosines, I'm going to use the letters here for the cities. Little h squared equals little t squared plus little o squared, these are the side lengths, minus 2 times t times o times the cosine of big H. Right? Now I'm just going to plug in my numbers. I know that little h is what I'm trying to solve for, so I'm going to leave that as little h squared equals t, which is this side, 396, plus O, which is this length, 175. Oh, I forgot to square it. Minus 2 times T and O, which is 396 times 175 times the cosine of 28 degrees. Cool. So now I'm going to plug these into a calculator. I'm going to do 396 squared plus 175 squared. 396. Still don't do squared very easily, does it? 396 times 396. Three nine six times 396, 396 squared plus 175 squared. Gives me 187,441. Woo! 187,441. Okay, and then we're going to do 2 times this times this. 2 times 396. 2 times 396 times 175. It was 175? Yep. Equals 138,600. 138,600. Another thing that makes it hard is big numbers. Big numbers are just harder. There's more to go wrong. Little h squared equals this minus this times the cosine of 28. Let's see what this is. Answer times cosine of 28 is this whole thing rigmarole 1, 2, 2, 3, 7, 6 and change. 5, 3, 6, 3, 7. Bring this down 1, 8, 7, 4, 4, 1. I don't know why I'm writing sideways. Sorry. So I'm going to do a little trick. Instead of doing this number minus this number, I'm going to do this number minus this number and then just drop the negative. So I'm going to do answer minus 187,441. Cool. So that gives us a times -1. That gives us 65,064. I'm going to keep these decimals even though you don't have to write them all down when you're writing down problems, but I really recommend you keep them in your calculator when you do the calculations because then your answer will be more accurate. 0.4636298. Cool. And then we know little h is equal to that. Or little h squared is equal to that, so then we just square root that whole thing. So again, we're going to square root that answer. That gives us now 255.07. 255.07. It's a multiple choice problem, so I'll just put 0.077 for now. Cool, so h is 255.077. 255, and in fact all of our answers are in whole miles anyway. So if this is 255 miles and this is 175 miles, how many total miles is it from Houston to the turning point to the Oklahoma City? Well, we can add those up. I can do that one in my head. 5 plus 5 is 10, 7 plus 5 is 12, plus 1 is 13, so I'm going to put a 3 and a 0, and 1 plus that's 400. So it's 430 miles from here to here to here. It's 396 miles directly. So the difference would be 34 miles. Is the difference. How much further than the direct route was the route taken by the pilot? 34 miles. So to me, I get a rush when I do a big, complicated problem like this, right? Boo, 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 boo. I go through all these problems, and I do all these steps, and I try and keep track of it all, and I do the final little step in the calculation, and then out of all these numbers and all these square roots and giant cosine irrational things, I get a value that's one of these 4 values that's on a multiple choice test. So big props to everyone who was able to do that and follow along.